This is a film story about a mute girl who gets stuck in her house. How and why did she get stuck here? What difficulties will she have to face? And will she be able to get out of here? Let's know in this story. So, in the beginning, we see a house in the middle of the jungle, where a girl named Maddy used to live, and she was making breakfast at that time. In a short while, Maddy's friend came to meet her. Her name was Sarah, and because Maddy was mute, Sarah was talking to her in sign language. Here, we came to know that Maddy is also a writer, who has written a book of her own story. And at that time, they were talking about this story. During this, Maddy forgets that she had kept the food to cook. And because you are busy talking, the food gets burned. Because of this, smoke spread all over the house, and the fire alarm started ringing. Seeing this, both of them came inside and started fixing everything. They threw away the burned food, and I immediately turned off the fire alarm. Sarah apologizes to Maddy. Sorry I talked to you and burn your food. After which, she asks Maddy in sign language, let's go eat food and watch a movie. Which Maddy clearly refused, saying that not today. I have a lot of work at home. Sarah left. From there, Maddy comes inside the house. Here, we came to know she got a boonkyberry due to an infection, and this problem has been with her since childhood. This was a temporary problem with her, but when she got her treatment and, because of the operation, she lost her ability to speak and listen forever. After that, she started living in the jungle and started writing her stories. Maddy was writing her next story at night. Then she starts thinking, what should I write as the ending of the story? Meaning, how to end the story. She did not have any idea at that time. That's why she video calls her friend. But even at that time, she was very worried. That's why she cuts off the video call. Her friend calls her, but she immediately turns off the laptop and goes to work in the kitchen. But then we see a very surprising sight. Sarah again came to meet Maddy. She also came to the door. That was a masked man, meaning the one who was wearing a mask on his head. He grabs Sarah and attacks her. He had a knife. Because of this, he started hitting her badly. Sarah, a poor girl, gets very scared. She started screaming in pain. She was also calling Maddy for help. But because he is not listening, Maddy's anger does not go away. And that masked man attacked Sarah many times with a knife. Badly. His blood started flowing, and she died in a very painful way. She fell down. The masked man got up, and he hit her badly. Maddy was bleeding. Then he hit his finger on the door and knocked, but when he realized it, Maddy was not able to hear anything. Then he took Sarah's dead body. And I left. From there, Maddy got a call from her friend again, but she doesn't answer the call. She starts writing her story again. Meanwhile, the masked man entered her house. He starts shouting with knives, but, like always, Maddy is not able to hear the voice. Meanwhile, Maddy got a video call from her female friend. As soon as Maddy picked up the call, that man moved back. Now both are friends, started talking to each other. Her friend tells Maddy that you come to the city and stay with me, but Maddy said no, I can't come there, because there is a lot of noise in the city. Because of this, I get very disturbed. Meanwhile, the masked man came quietly, and I picked up Maddy's phone. Her friend saw a glimpse of the man. That's why she tells him, there is someone behind you. Maddy replies, my cat is here. She then tells her friend, that okay? I am hanging up the phone. I have to find the cat. She is roaming like this. After which, she starts looking for her cat, but she doesn't find her anywhere. That's why I'm tired. Maddy takes her laptop and sits at work. Where Maddy? I got a picture from her number. Look at this. She was very tense, but when she saw the picture, she thought it was her own. And many times, at different times, there were pictures of her. When she was working, she was looking for the cat at home, and she was talking to her friend on video call, seeing which, she realized, there is someone else in the house who has kept an eye on me. And now she gets very scared. As soon as she looked at the door, the masked man was standing outside, whose hand was Maddy's phone, and he was showing Maddy, look at this. She got very scared. She got up quickly Before the masked man came inside, she closed the door quickly. And now when he started trying to come in through the window, then Maddy. She also closed it quickly. Seeing this, the masked man. I started looking all around, looking for a way to go inside. But I couldn't find any way to get inside. In the meantime, Maddy started trying to call the police. While doing this, the masked man saw her. That's why she disconnected all the lights, which made the whole house dark. She also changed the Wi-Fi password so that I couldn't contact anyone. And now Maddy gets very scared because the masked man was standing outside, was showing her bloodied face. Maddy was very scared. She didn't understand anything. What should I do now? And the masked man who was standing outside the house, he went away from there. When I went to the door, the masked man was puncturing the tires of her car so that she can't run away from here. That's why I got a torchlight. When she saw the light on the door, the masked man was writing, "I don't want to go. So tell someone. You have seen my face." He also wrote, "Your friend is coming." As soon as he said that, he took off his mask. Maddy was very happy to see his face because she knew him. She had lived with him. There was a time they were good friends, but now Maddy has left him. This is the reason that he wrote, "Your friend is coming." He asks Maddy to stay with him again. And also, "That is when I go, I can enter your house. So be careful." After saying that, he went away from here. After that, Maddy went to the kitchen. She picked up a knife and a hammer. She started checking the whole house. That is the masked man has come inside. Along with that, all the windows and the door were closed tightly. In the meantime, someone started knocking on her window. When Maddy checked, there was no one else there. In fact, she had an old friend. That is the masked man who was holding Sarah's dead body. And I was knocking on the window. Seeing that Maddy lost her mind, she got scared. And she started crying over her friend's death. But then, she got an idea. She took her car's remote, and he started honking the car's horn, which distracted the masked man. That is why Maddy came out of the window, and I tried to pull Sarah's dead body inside. But then, that man saw her, and started coming near her. Before that, she went inside. He tried to catch Maddy. She came back inside, and closed the window. But until then, the masked man I was holding the window. He tried to open it by pushing it. Seeing that Maddy, with a big hammer, attacked his hand, the masked man got hurt. He pulled his hand away. Then Maddy locked the window. After some time, when the masked man came, I went away from the door. Then Maddy. I tried to run away from him. But again, he saw her. He had to attack her. That is why I had to come back home. He was right behind her. With a big hammer, he was about to attack Maddy. At the right time, she went inside. She closed the door. And like this, she saved her life. She saw the fire alarm. And I came to the room upstairs. She came near the window and decided to distract the masked man. She turned on the fire alarm and threw it far away. Seeing that, the masked man started going behind the fire alarm. Like this, he lost his mind. And Maddy, from the room upstairs, came to the terrace, and I started running away from there. But again, the masked man, I had seen her. Maddy was climbing up. That is when he shot her with an arrow. The arrow hit her on her leg, which hurt her a lot. But as she came up, she pulled out her arrow. She was badly injured, and now she realizes she can't run anymore. Following her, the masked man started climbing up with his arrow on the terrace. As he started climbing, Maddy came in front. She hits him in the face and throws him down. With this, the masked man, without his arrow, fell down, and now Maddy started moving forward. With the arrow, she starts trying to attack him. But it doesn't work. He got up and started following her. That is why he came back to his room. And I knocked on the window and started bandaging his wound. She tries to shoot him with the arrow, but he can't do it because he had never done such a thing before. Meanwhile, Sarah's friend also came there. He came to look for her. He knocked on the door, and I started calling Sarah. The masked man heard his voice. That is why he came there with the torch. And she started calling Sarah's friend a thief. He got scared. He raised his hand and stood up. He started telling her, "He is not a thief. But I am Maddy's neighbor. My friend. That is Sarah, is Maddy's good friend. She came to meet him, but it's been a long time, she hasn't returned yet. I was worried. That is why I came here to look for her. Here's Maddy's friend. That is his masked man." He tells her, "I am a police officer. I got a call from here for help. That is why I came here. But the matter of coming here started affecting me. My gun has been stolen. Along with that, the phone is also lost somewhere." Saying this, he asks for Sarah's friend's phone. But after calling, instead of returning her phone, he kept it in his pocket. Sarah's friend started asking for her phone. He takes it out of his pocket and gives it to her. But Sarah's earring was kept in his pocket, comes out and gets stuck. Seeing this, Sarah's friend started doubting. Something is definitely wrong here. He started thinking. Then he suddenly asks Maddy can neither speak nor hear. "Then who called you?" Hearing this, masked man started thinking. First he goes to Dohich's house. Then, after thinking a little, he says, "Maybe your friend Sarah has called." With his words, Sarah's friend was convinced he is lying. That is why he got entangled in the conversation, picks up a stone in his hand. But before that, Maddy attacks. He had seen Sarah's friend. She started shouting for help. The door starts opening. As soon as Sarah's friend saw him, he lost his mind. By giving it a chance, the masked man puts a knife in his neck. His throat was separated. He started bleeding. He fell down in pain. Seeing this, the masked man feels as if he were dead. He goes out and checks. But suddenly Sarah's friend gets up and holds a masked man and drops him down, straightens him up, and holds his throat tightly, and he tells Maddy to run away from there. Now, as she came out of the house, a masked man came in front of her. He holds him and puts him on the ground. Then it sits on top and attacks his head with a stone. Sometimes he hits Maddy's head and crushed his head, which killed him badly. But this was not the reality. All this was happening in Maddy's mind. Actually, he felt, now I will never be able to escape from here, and whatever Maddy saw in his mind, that masked man crushed his head and killed him. That was actually Sarah's friend. Masked man hit his head and made him feel bad, which killed him. Maddy realized this. If I have to run away from here, then I have to cure my leg, which was injured. That means healing it. And if I have to kill a masked man, then for that, I need an arrow. Along with that, I have to switch on the lights in the house. Because if I go inside the house, then there is a lot of danger of getting caught in the dark. And I either have to hide in the bathroom or in my room, some safe place. Because once a masked man enters the house, I will not be able to do anything. Because, obviously, neither can I say anything, nor can I hear anything. After thinking about all this, he realized that I could not run away from there. Nor can I hide. So now I have only one way to escape. I have to kill a masked man. That's why masked man was thrown by Maddy's cat, with whom he started talking. And because his mind was lost, Maddy came in front of the house and attacks him with an arrow. But unfortunately, the arrow hit his shoulder, with which he could not do much. He takes out his arrow, and again, he runs after Maddy, seeing which, he also tries to run inside the house quickly. When his arrow fell outside, now Maddy, quickly. I had closed the door. But he took out his hand slightly. As soon as he started picking up the arrow, masked man stuck his hand in the door like this, and breaks it. And he also shoots his own foot at him. His hand is in bad condition, but somehow, he put his hand inside, and quickly closes the door. But he was very scared, because his hand was badly broken, and the poor man did not get the arrow back. Seeing his condition, the masked man was very happy. That poor lady, she looks very sad, but with a little patience she got up with courage. And now she is too. On the door. She starts writing threats with her blood, after which she comes back and opens her laptop. And at the end of the song, her heart sees the identity of a masked man. That is, what is his height? What color are his eyes? Where is the tattoo on his body? How is the hair? And so on. Outside, the masked man was also very angry. And, now, he starts trying to break the door completely. Seeing which Maddy too takes the knife, and quickly. I went to the bathroom, sat down. The knife was pointed towards the door. That is, as soon as he comes in, I will kill him. She starts waiting for the masked man, but surprised, we saw. That masked man is sitting right behind him, sitting in the bathtub. He makes fun of him. Says, that may be. I will kill you in the right place. Then you start talking again. But now, Maddy feels it with her breath. He is behind me. That's why. Turning, attacks him with a knife. That way. By pushing the knife inside him. I ran away from there. Comes to the kitchen. Sits on the ground. And now, as soon as the masked man came to attack him, she put the insect-killing spray in his eyes. She sets a fire alarm. Due to this, there was no noise in the whole house. And his voice. A masked man started getting hurt. He gets angry. That's why he attacks Maddy. Beats him a lot. After which, drops it down. Then sitting on top of him. A lot of beating started. He starts strangling him. But in the meantime, Maddy has a sharp weapon. Due to this, she also stabs the masked man's throat. He also started bleeding badly. And now here. Finally. He dies. After everything becomes normal, she calls the police, but she was very happy about it. Thank God. Finally my life was saved. I had lost hope of it. But because of her, I stood up and fought the masked man. Then, finally, she saved her life from that problem.